You know, when we dropped our PADI video a few weeks ago, I didn't expect it to ruffle so many feathers, but it did. Dive pros, shop owners, instructors, all piling in. So today, we're doing it again. Just this time with a different flavor, because this isn't the story of an empire. This is the story of a rebellion. This is the story of SSI, Scuba Schools International, the agency that's been lurking in the shadows for decades and has suddenly started punching above its weight. How did they get there? Why are dive centers switching in droves? And who really benefits when the empire stumbles? Grab your fins, this one gets spicy. Cutting in real quick to thank our sponsor, Nutrition Restore. Their 4-in-1 Lion's Mane Mushroom Complex blends include cordyceps, rhodiola and ginseng for sharp, clear focus, clean energy and fewer of those "where was I?" moments. I've been using it myself, no jitters, no crash, just clarity. Hit the link below and give your brain a bit of a backup. Let's rewind to the late 1960s, a time when scuba training was fragmented. You had NAUI, YMCA and NASDS, all in the mix. Each agency had its own quirks, but most were instructor focused. The instructor was king, with total control over training, structure, and sometimes quality. And then came PADI, founded in '66 with a radical idea: standardized, modular training. Suddenly, scuba diving was packaged like Lego blocks, predictable, consistent, scalable. Dive shops could churn out courses like clockwork. PADI began to dominate, but not everyone loved it. At NASDS, there was tension. Their vision? Put dive centers at the heart of training, not individual instructors freelancing around the system. They believed if a center made the investment in gear, staff, and marketing, they should control the certification process. Enter a group of frustrated NASDS-aligned dive shop owners, tired of the instructor-first model, disillusioned by the lack of support, and sick of watching the industry get commoditized. Sounds familiar? These weren't paper pushers though. They were working dive shop operators, and they had a rebellious streak. In 1970, those NASDS renegades broke away and they formed Scuba Schools International. The mission? Return control to the dive shop. SSI didn't just allow training to happen through dive centers, it required it. No center, no certs. They built their training philosophy around consistency, professionalism, and retail integration. Shops could trust the curriculum, upsell gear, and create a full-service dive experience. But for all that ambition, SSI remained a niche player for decades. By the 1990s, PADI had over 60% of the global certification market, with more than 100,000 instructors and thousands of affiliated shops. SSI? Respectable, but in the shadows. Why? Two reasons. First, global branding. PADI were marketing machines. And second, language and logistics. SSI was solid in the US, but lacked global infrastructure, and that would soon change. In 2008, a surprising deal was made. A German investment group with ties to a European training agency, Barracuda, acquired SSI. The founders retired. Exit stage left. Barracuda brought European polish, structure, and most importantly, ambition. In just a few short years, they rolled out aggressive affiliate growth in Germany, Austria, Switzerland, and Italy. They translated materials, digitized resources, and started opening doors in Asia. For the first time, SSI felt global, and people noticed. One of those people? A certain European sporting goods powerhouse. Head, best known for tennis rackets and ski gear, had already bought Mares, the Italian scuba equipment manufacturer, way back in 1999, but they wanted more. They saw power in combining equipment, training, and retail into a vertically integrated system. So in 2014, Head acquired SSI. Now SSI wasn't just a training agency, it was part of a full ecosystem. Mares could supply gear, SSI could train divers to use that gear, and dive centers could become certified affiliates of both. This strategy wasn't subtle. It was Moneyball. Scale smart, reduce inefficiencies, and offer dive shops a better deal with much better tech. And in the background, PADI were about to hand SSI their biggest opportunity yet. In 2017, PADI was sold, again, to private equity. Prices went up, annual fees, renewal fees, crossover fees, digital learning fees. Dive shops started grumbling, and then they started walking. SSI, meanwhile, had quietly built an end-to-end platform, and let's be blunt, it actually worked. Their My SSI app wasn't perfect, but it let divers log dives, access e-learning, store cards, and manage their training, all in one app. Dive shops could manage staff, customers, inventory, courses, and paperwork with Odin, their operational portal. Compared to PADI's clunky, multi-tab dinosaur, it was a breath of compressed air. But it wasn't just tech. SSI doubled down on dive center support, lower fees, better margins, and perhaps most notably, they didn't compete with their affiliates. No selling trips direct, no t-shirts, no e-commerce undercutting the shops. Was this a mass movement towards SSI, or just a protest vote against PADI? The truth? Probably a bit of both. Today, SSI is positioned like never before. They're linked to an ecosystem that includes Mares, Aqualung, Apex for gear, Revo for CCR and technical diving, liverboards.com for trips. In theory, this lets SSI offer dive shops an unbeatable value stack: training, gear, travel, and retail integration. But, and here's the friction, freelance instructors don't love it. Because if you're not tied to a shop, SSI doesn't want you. No affiliate, no teaching. That protects quality and consistency, but limits mobility. On the flip side, regional quality assurance is better, less bureaucracy, faster responses, and many dive shops feel like SSI has their back, in a way that PADI no longer does. So is SSI the hero we need, or just the lesser evil? So what do you think? Is SSI rising because it's better, or just because PADI fumbled the ball? Is this a realignment of the scuba industry, or just another cycle of rinse and repeat? Let me know your take in the comments. And if you've enjoyed this deep dive into the scuba industry's political drama, there's plenty more coming. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next descent. Until then, dive safe, dive smart, and maybe update that PADI logbook, yeah?
Fuel your mind and body with Nutrition Restore's 4-in-1 Lion's Mane supplement, formulated with Lion's Mane, Cordyceps, ginseng, and rhodiola rosea designed to support cognitive function, clarity, focus, and lasting energy. Stay sharp, stay energized, naturally.